everybody, Keely O'Brien here. So I want to make some Christmas tags with my book, A Pink Nordic Christmas, to cut out on Collage, available on Amazon, just saying. So I've cut out some card. It's only lightweight card. I've done 7 centimetres by 10.5 centimetres, and I'm just going to make some Christmas tags for my Christmas gifts. I think these will be for my mum. So I don't have a whole load of scrapbook papers and things like that, believe it or not. So I thought I would have a go at doing some jelly prints with some pinks and whites and see what comes out, and I can use those as backgrounds for my cards. So let's see what I'm going to create with the jelly prints. So it does take a little while to do jelly printing. I'm probably just going to edit this, but let's just get started. I'm going to add a little bit of a few different things, roll them out and just see what we get. These are only small images, so I don't need all that many, but I just want to see what I can create. So it's easy to get too much ink on the gel plate, and I haven't done this for a while. If you haven't seen my videos that I did with the back in the summer with Kerry Griffith's Geli postcard play challenge, that's when I bought my gel plate and started experimenting with it. But I have done quite a bit of printmaking, but I'm talking decades ago, so it was just the kick that I needed to get me started again. So I'm not sure how this is going to come out. I might just scrape some patterns onto there, I think. My brayer, or I call it a roller, seems to be making little dinks in the ink. Anyway, inky dink. It can take a little while for the gel plate to warm up as well, but I'm just going to use the end of a paintbrush and make some really simple patterns. And I quite like it when I get let's just do zigzags. I quite like it when I get shadows and echoes of previous prints, so I shan't mind too much if these zigzags show up on subsequent patterns. I'm not going to make this anything too intricate. I just want a little bit of pinkiness and a little bit of something. So I love printmaking. It's really exciting to see how things come out when you peel the paper off. And although this particular pink, I wasn't particularly thrilled with how it came out, and it did remind me rather of Marks and Spencer's Percy Pig sweets, which I don't particularly like. Sorry, M&S. I really enjoyed just rolling out the ink and blending the colours. Maybe blended them a little bit too much, but if you've never tried printmaking, honestly, it's really good fun. You don't have to be artistic. You don't have to be able to draw. As you can see, I'm just drawing little rough sort of splodgy circles. You can just have a whole lot of fun and be really creative without any artistic skill whatsoever. So I used to do printmaking on glass a long time ago when I first learnt, and this is on a gel plate, so it's actually a little bit squishy and got a bit of give to it, and there's some magic about the texture of a gel plate that rolling ink out on glass you don't really get. So yeah, it's quite a different experience and really good fun. So I watched a lot of a lady called Froyle, who has her YouTube channel, Froyle Art, and she's just the most gorgeous lady, and she's always laughing, and her prints are just amazing. She's the most enthusiastic and joyful person you could possibly find, and if you want to learn more about jelly printing, definitely recommend hopping over and having a look at her channel. Okay, so you can see with the paper on the right that I just use that to clean the roller off. You don't want to ever waste any of your paint. This is acrylic paint that I'm using because, you know, it's expensive and you've got that beautiful pink colour on the roller, so use it. I can easily use that up for something. Even if I reprint another layer on top, it'll be great as a background, and it's already got a bit of texture, and obviously it's the pink that I need. So yeah, I'm just rollering out some more. You'll spot that I used a heat gun just now to try and dry off those circles, because it really needs the separate layers to be like the underneath layers need to be dry before you can get them to peel off as well. Otherwise, like the one I did previously, everything turns into a bit of a splodge. And you have to remember that the whole thing is really an experiment when you're jelly printing, and don't get too upset about it. It's only a piece of paper after all. And as you can see, I didn't really manage to get those dots off even then. So I'm rubbing as hard as I can now with the heel of my hand, just to try and get those last bits of ink onto the paper so that I don't lose that lovely spotty pattern. And here it comes. I actually did manage to peel some of it off in that
and
last
this is what I've got.
effort.
They're not quite dry yet, but yeah, I really like that one with all the circles. And as I say, I think that one's a bit too Pinky Percy Pig, Marks and Spencer Sweets, and possibly that one. I could do some more things on top. I've got stencils, and I could work with those. That one, and that's just braring off the roller. Okay, so this book, I need to make my little backgrounds first, I think, with the gel prints, and then I'm going to go through this book and choose some images that I want to use for my tags. So I'm going to go on with ground espresso this time. I'm just stamping it straight on. Try not to put too much around the edges. Okay, so let's make the first two. I'm going to just work with that area that I've created. So I'm not going to try and cut it exactly. I'm just going to use that as a guide. Do it like that. And then I'm going to glue the piece of white card on the back. Then I'm going to trim it nicely with my trimmer. If that makes sense. That's just a guide, so I'm going to end up with something a bit like that. So that's that one. That's that one. Hopefully it'll go with some of the more vintagey Nordic Scandinavian images from my book. There we go. Right, let's get the glue out. Now, I've got a book somewhere to lean on for the gluing. Let's get that down off the shelf. So, literally just going to glue the back. I might cut these tags into a more fancy shape once I've stuck the background on and punch a hole, etc. But let's just do one thing at a time. Okay. Let's try and get it so that I haven't got any bits without any pinky parts. There we go. Right, so that's one. I'll cut that in just a second. Oh, this really is like Blue Peter. If you're in the UK or you happen to remember Blue Peter, they always used to make this kind of stuff
in the 1970s for Christmas, and I always fancied being on Blue Peter, partly so I could make things and teach people how to do it. And if you don't know, if you haven't seen my channel before, I've actually been a primary school teacher for about 30 years. And so in the end, I suppose I was teaching people how to do crafts and stuff, small people. A bit like Blue Peter on the telly. Okay, lid on the glue. Let's get the paper trimmer. And, okay. So I'm just going to line up those edges, hopefully straight. There we are. Yeah, I do miss teaching sometimes. When it's the crafty stuff, particularly, or putting on a show, I miss that very much. And just getting the whole class to make their Christmas cards to take home for their families, parents and so on, so that everybody had something really beautiful to take home. Right, so there's the background for one tag. Suppose I could add a little bit of something shimmery maybe before I stick my images on, but I think I'll decide that once I've picked out the images and see if it needs a little bit of something else. Do have some distressed paint, that might be handy, just to sort of distress everything. Obviously it's distressed paint, but just to soften things up a little bit more, because if the background's shouting louder than the foreground, that's not really what I'm after. But let's see. It's an experiment, right? What's it going to look like? Oh, not bad. I quite like those. Do you know what? They'd make quite nice birthday tags, wouldn't they? For a spring birthday. Anyway, right, so that's 2 done. Let's do a bit more stamping and see if I can create maybe 2 more with a different background. Back in a bit. Okay, so this time I'm going in with my vintage photo archival ink and a different design. I really wish I'd ordered some like Christmassy things here, but honestly I've been so busy I've just not really had time to plan, so I'm just going with this on the fly. Hope you don't mind. There we go. Oh, that's nice, and I like the vintage photo rather a lot anyway. I think I'm just going to create a bit of a general sort of pattern with that. Nice. Hope you can see this okay. Let's zoom in a bit more. There we go. She whispers in a confidential tone. That's it. There we are. You do get a nice crisp edge if you just put the archival ink block straight onto the surface of your printing blocks. And this see-through acrylic thing is so handy as well, because you can see where you're putting it and you get a nice flat print. Right, I'm really liking that. Make rather pretty wallpaper, wouldn't it? There we go. Not the tidiest creature, have you noticed? Got all this clobber and clutter around. Funny thing is, whenever I tidy up, I find as soon as I get back to not thinking about being tidy, everything just jumps out again, and I actually can't focus very well on an empty table with nothing out there. I kind of like being hemmed in with stuff. Perhaps not very healthy. Cluttered environment equals a cluttered mind and all that feng shui stuff, but I just operate better when I've got all that stuff around me for, I guess, inspiration and accessibility. So I'm not one of those super tidy people. I wish I was, because I'd be able to find things, wouldn't I? And it would be a lot easier probably, but let's do another one up there. Oh, I really love this. I might have to make some wrapping paper like this as well. It'd be really sweet. Suppose I could scan it, couldn't I? It's just so much fun creating things like this, and you never quite know how it's going to turn out, which is part of the excitement of the whole thing, of course. So if you haven't made your tags yet, if you're going to make some, let me know. Maybe this has inspired you to do something. Honestly, it doesn't have to be anything complicated. I'm literally just getting some colour together and some patterns, picking out the best bits, and away we go. There we are. I think that's enough to do 2 more quite easily, maybe even 3. Okay, just going to do what I did with the last one, and I'll come back and show you when I've got some more ready. Okay, so I've made 5 tags. I've sliced and diced them on my paper trimmer, and all that effort I want to with the Geli prints, you can't really tell other than the colour, but never mind. I really like those. Like I say, they look a bit spring-like, but I'm going to Christmas them up now with my Pink Nordic Christmas images. So let's go through and just select some that are going to work well with that background. I'm not sure if I really want to go with a particular theme or just pick out some things that are going to look pretty with the background. Maybe the drinks. So this is for my mum, and so we need something she's going to appreciate, and maybe the cookies or the cat. I think she might like that cat. Go quite well on there, wouldn't he? I think his eyes draw your attention rather well. Okay, oh, I haven't cut into this book yet. Ooh, gonna have to do it. Here we go. It's quite hard to cut into a new book. Let me know if you find cut and collage books hard to start. Once you start messing with it, it's all right, but that first cut is a little bit of a bit like jumping in a swimming pool when you're nice and dry and you're not quite sure. Right, there we go. I think that cat will go nicely on one of those, maybe with something else. Let me see, Teddy, maybe, little girl, a Santa. Now I might want to try and tie the pinks that I'm choosing so that they sort of match. That bell would be nice, wouldn't it? Perhaps that. And I'm not sure whether I want to use one image or a few on each tag, so let's just see. Once I fussy cut them, which I'll do off camera, I think. Otherwise this video will be a complete marathon. Once I've fussy cut them, I'll be able to see whether I need to do a bit of distressed paint first on the background or add a few more little Christmassy things. Oh, now my mum would appreciate that little girl. Does that colour go with these backgrounds? Yeah, why not? Why not? By the way, in the front of the book, if you're going to buy my book, hopefully you are, I've got QR codes for my Instagram and one that brings you to this channel as well. So if you can't find me, you can find me by using your phone, camera,
against the book or in the book. Oh, that's going to be cute. Anyway, I think I might need some like flowers or something else in the background of some of these. So let's see what else we've got. We've got wreaths, they're nice. And my mum's really not a person who would have those kind of drinks or the sugary donuts. She'd just go, ooh, oh, my stomach, because she does get a bit of a bad tummy with certain food. So I don't want to make her feel unwell by looking at her Christmas gift tags. I wonder what colour goes best. Those are a little bit raspberry pink, aren't they? That colour and that colour. So perhaps I can stick with the... What about that heart? That's beautiful. I haven't put my Christmas tree up yet. It's sitting in the box in the lounge, and that is my job for when I finish recording here. I don't normally work on Fridays, so it does sort of act as a Saturday for me because I work on Sundays, so my weekend kind of gets broken up. Friday, Saturday and Monday are my days at home doing whatever. So, oh, now what about some bows? The bows might work well as a little background, mightn't they? Or I could put a bow on the other side with the message. That might be nice. Bear that in mind. Or these flowers. They're a little bit raspberry, aren't they? Right, stick a pin in that idea. Christmas trees, stockings, mittens. Oh, I was going to do the parcels, wasn't I? See, you have to work with me here and help me because my memory is not quite as good as I would like. She's cute. My mum would definitely appreciate her. Let's have that. So, Mum, if you're watching, I came down to see you this week and we did talk about Christmas presents. Hopefully watching me make your Christmas tags at some point on YouTube will be a bit of fun and a bit of a laugh for you. There we are. She's super cute. Yep. That's definitely going to be something my mum will appreciate. And I was going to do a parcel. That one might fit. That's a bit paler. Like I say, I do like the more raspberry colours, just so that everything's a bit more tied together. Flowers, oh, the little angels, she'd like those. She's super cute, isn't she? And she'd just fit. And so with that one, her wings are just going to hang off the edge. Let's do that one. Okay. So I was very, very fortunate to have a little week in the sun last week. So I got back a week ago. So it was the week before. And yeah, I went to Tenerife. Oh my goodness. Had such a lovely time out in the sunshine. Boat trips, went to see whales. Not the country, the creatures. Went on a whale watching tour. And we did actually see some whales bobbing about in the sea, which was amazing. And yeah, I had a lovely time. Right, anyway, must get back to this because I've got to think what I'm going to use for the background. So yeah, I'm horribly behind with Christmas and Christmas shopping and crafting. As you can see, probably should have done this 3 or 4 weeks ago, but hey, it is what it is. Those would work well, wouldn't they? Oh, you can't see them. There we are. Those little candles would be a good addition, I think, to maybe one of the other images. So let's just... Oh, nearly cut the flame off there. Come on, Keely.
Yeah, I think that would go nicely as more of a background. And lanterns, maybe. Perhaps the little church there, would that go nicely somewhere? Perhaps with the bell. Perhaps it's too big. Yeah, I'll leave that for now. Oh, that might look nice, but then it's going to take up most of the card, isn't it? Maybe I just want to keep it super simple and just have one image on each card. Am I overthinking it? Not sure. Those are cute too, aren't they? The little snowmen. They'd be really nice on here. Yeah, let's have that one as well, and I can make my mind up once I fussy cut them. There we go. Right, I'll put that to one side for now. So this is what I have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and I've got 5 cards. So either I do one on each, or I do a bit mix and match and see what I can do there. Or maybe I do a little bit of more distressing on these. Anyway, I'm off to fussy cut, and then I'll be able to see the wood for the trees and make a decision. And I had a little play about off camera because I just thought the rectangles didn't look very Christmassy, and I was wanting to cut them into a different shape. So what I actually used was the corner of this, and I just drew on the back, cut it out, and then I had a little try off camera with my hole punch to get the holes in the middle, because you know what it's like, sometimes you punch the wrong bit, and it worked okay. So I've done one, this one's sort of ready, and yeah, so let's see if I can line up the hole punch. I'm just looking inside it to see. I really want to get these straight because I've spent ages making them, but if it's not quite central, it's not the end of the world. I think that's it there. Not too bad. Right, so I've got my 5 tags. They're all slightly different. I rather like them. See, the Geli printing, as long as I got some colour and a bit of texture, didn't have to be anything particularly splendid. It's just added a bit of something. Right, so I have cut out a number of images from my book. This one. In the absence of any doubt, or in the case of any doubt, and I picked out a few extra ones off camera. I've got some parcels, thought they might be nice sort of in the background, so I definitely want to use her. Let me lay these all out, and just then I can see which one I think they're going to look best on. She's quite bold and stands out quite well on that slightly busier background. I wonder whether we need a little corner of a parcel or something, because I can cut that off and use the other half in a different one. Yeah, let's do that. What I also want to do is one of my favourite things, which is ink around the edges. So let's just do a little bit of something.
Now, since I was filming Trade Secret, I actually filmed the rest of this video yesterday and went off and decorated the tree, and this is Saturday. So yeah, my dear friend Nicole last night did a video which you have quite probably seen. If you found me, it's probably through Nicole, of my pink Christmas book. And guess what? She did some inking as well, and she happened to say, it's like living in the Matrix, she happened to say that she had used some brown because it makes the pink stand out, and it was exactly what I'd been doing. As you can see, I'd used brown with the pink. So that was quite funny when I read or saw that she'd done that, or heard that she said that. Oh, my poor brain. Anyway, so yeah, I'm going around the edges. Nicole, I haven't nicked the idea off you, I'd already had it, or maybe we're just psychic sisters and had the same thought. And there are a few little sort of soft brown details in these images anyway, like the little girl's hair colour, for example. So I'm not going to go overly crazy. Don't want it to look particularly vintage, but just to get her to stand out a little bit more. And I love inking, so I'm going to go around the edge of the tag as well. So satisfying. Oh, maybe I should have rounded those corners as well. That might look nicer. In fact, why not? Let's get the corner rounder, because that'll sort of go with the roundy edges there as well, won't it? Let's go for 7mm. Oh yes. Oh yes, that's better. Right, so just round the roundy bits. There we go. Now I do have a gold pen, and I was toying with the idea of some dots, but do you know what? You can over egg the pudding, can't you? And I think I'm going to do that. So let's stick the parcel down first. Where's my Prit stick? There it is. I know people like different types of glue. A lot of people favour the what's the green one? Can't remember what it's called, but yeah, a lot of people favour. Oh, it's not sellotape. What's the brand? Oh, come on, guys, let me know in the comments. But anyway, I've always gone with a Prit stick. We've used them when I was teaching. Oh no, I haven't gone around the edges. Oh dear. There we go. Really hard to concentrate and talk. Crafting and talking is definitely a bit of an art form. There we go. I'll have to go around the edge of that again as well. Right, let's put that about there. I'm going to cut that off now because it's all gluey. What I could actually do is stick it on that side, or does that look weird? Let's stick it on there anyway. Oops. Hopefully there's just enough glue. There we are. And the edges again. Oh, I love it when a plan comes together. So there's my little fairy girl. Oh, so cute. What do you think? I think that's pretty good, really, considering that I just sort of threw it together. These are the kinds of things I used to make with the children in my class. So mostly I taught sort of 7, 8, 9-year-olds. So it had to be something they could follow along, simple enough, but something that would show a bit of their own style and personality as well. So something a bit splodgy or a bit, you know, not just completely done for you, because I think that's a lost opportunity. There we go, there's my first one. Right, let's remember to do all the things. So we'll round the corners. In fact, why don't I do all of those? All of those now. Gonna get glue in my corner rounder if I'm not careful. So anyway, guess what I was just doing? I was watching Speedy Shakespeare 12th Night Synopsis, because I'm going to see 12th Night this afternoon. And I did do Shakespeare at school, and I did do A-level English. 12th Night isn't one that I actually am familiar with, so Shakespeare can be a bit hard to follow sometimes, and more fun if you know the story already, which sounds a bit counterintuitive because it's spoiling the plot, but my partner recommended that I familiarise myself with the plot first, so I've done that. And it was quite a funny video. All the characters, it was like 6 minutes long, all the characters were things like wine bottles and drinking glasses with googly eyes. It was funny. Anyway, I've got a rough idea of what is going to happen in 12th Night this afternoon. So Jane Asher is in it. That's about all I know. It's in a tiny theatre in West London. The Orange Tree Theatre it's called, in Richmond. And been there before. It's very intimate. You sit so close to the actors. They're almost on your lap. And yeah, looking forward to that. And then we're going to go out and get some dinner later. I think we're going for Japanese food, so it'll be a lovely afternoon out. I'm unlikely to finish these tags, so I might even be able to tell you about it before the end of this video, because I think it's going to be quite a long video. So let's get these finished. Oh, I'm so pleased with them. So pleased with them. I'm going to definitely have to do a bit more Geli printing. What I want to do is test out whether the quality of the print on my Amazon books works for creating that shadow effect that I was mentioning earlier on a gel plate. I'm going to have a bit of an experiment. Somebody actually messaged me, I think it was on Instagram a while ago, and asked whether my books were suitable for gel printing, and I didn't actually know the answer to that, and I certainly didn't want to persuade somebody to buy my book on the basis that they were going to be able to use it for gel prints. But I'm going to have a bit of a play with that, because I think that might be a great way to use the images if they come out clearly, and I'm not an expert at that, so I should be having a look at probably Froyle again to learn from her, Froyle Art. If you don't know her channel, talking about her earlier. So right, who are we going to put on here? Maybe that one. So we've already got a fairy. I think we need a snowman, don't we? That one looks quite good on there. I've got some candles, but they might melt the snowman. Might not use those, although they're super pretty. Maybe the snowman could have a pink candy cane. Yeah, let's do that. So, a little bit of vintage photo. It's amazing how I've said this before many times, but how a bit of ink around the edges pulls all of the images together and makes them look more like a cohesive kind of whole rather than a whole load of separate collage pieces added together that don't really blend. Right, he's going on there. Yeah, I'm loving this slightly goldy tone around the edges. Something about slightly metallic-y colours that gets me every time. I think that's why I love steampunk so much. So if you're new to my channel, I've created a few steampunk cut and collage books. I think there are currently 3 as of December 2024. Definitely want to create a few more of those, but I have got some steampunk postcard videos. They didn't get seen by all that many people. I think the thumbnails I made maybe weren't the best, or the I don't know, the algorithm somehow didn't seem to pick those up, but maybe I'll make some new thumbnails for them and see if they take off, because there's actually quite a lot of crafting going on in those videos. And do you know, I'm going to put that down underneath the snowman. Yeah, I was a bit disappointed those didn't really get seen by very many people compared to some of my other videos. So I might see if I can give them a bit of a refresh. If you like steampunk, definitely head over, have a scroll down. I think I did them in August probably, with my slightly belated Geli postcard play challenge efforts. Just when I was starting on here. Okay. Oh, what a cutie pie. There we go, 2 done, 3 to go. Lovely, I love it. Right, which one am I going to do next? Now, I think I want to do the cat on one of them. I've got slightly too many images here. Let's do the cat, the little girl, and I think the angel. Maybe not on those particular backgrounds though. Let's just see. I think she's better on the pale one. Quite like that. Or do I like that? That's nice too. I like her. I just wish she had some feet or something. But she could sit at the bottom like that. Maybe with the trees, or... So they're very similar colours. I could have the cat with the... Yeah, I love that. Is it too much like that one, the way I've arranged it? Maybe. Let's just switch them up that way round. By the way, I inked around the edges of these off camera, so speed things up a little bit. Maybe I'll do the same and just cut that parcel in half. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. Let's just cut it down the middle. Should do it on the trimmer really, but no. Sorry, I've got a really creaky chair. Can you hear the creaking? I hope you can't. Every time I move a muscle, it creaks. I need to, excuse me, go and find the WD-40 and give it a good old spray underneath. Right, yeah, I like that. And I like this. It's Monday morning, by the way, now. I do change my clothes. I've just kept this blouse on for continuity, really. So, yeah, it's going in the wash after this. I've worn it for 3 days of filming. Anyway, we're going to just throw these things together. As I've said before. Oh, you can't see what I'm doing. Sorry. So, I went to the theatre on Saturday. Oh, my goodness. Oh, it was absolutely phenomenal. So, Jane Asher, she was amazing. She's 78. She looks just so stunning. Seriously. And the way they'd set the theatre up. There we go. Oh, I love him. Very sweet. The way they'd set the theatre up, it's a tiny, tiny theatre. It's like the size of, well, I don't know, the stage is probably like the size of somebody's lounge, say. But everybody's facing inwards, and there was a grand piano, a beautiful black, shiny grand piano in the middle, and a pianist played just gorgeous piano music. And you might not know, but I absolutely adore the piano. I did play as a child, but then I gave up, which is a real pity. But kids, what can you do? Now think, do I want a background? I think I like her as she is. Gonna have to clip her wings just a tiny little bit. I could leave them sticking out, but they'll probably just get bent. Maybe I'll leave them. Wait for the glue to dry around the edges. What do you think? I think I'm going to leave those wings for now, because if I cut them off, I'll be sad. Yeah, I'm going to leave them. Yeah, so the pianist tinkled his way through the whole show. It was 12th night, if you didn't hear me mention it earlier in this video. So, yeah, it really was a sight to behold. There was some fantastic acting. Oh, it's really difficult to put across, so I'm going to not even try. But honestly, I just enjoyed it so much. And we were in the front row, and the actors, I mean, at one point, Jane Asher's... No, it wasn't Jane Asher. It was whoever the actress was who played the character Olivia in 12th Night. Her skirt actually brushed our feet as she swished past. And it was done in a like 1920s style. It was so brilliant. And there we go. That can go there. I love going to the theatre. It would be such a nice place to actually get a little part-time job if I had any time at all. Yeah, Orange Tree Theatre, big shout out to them. I love it. It's just so cosy and intimate, and good people of Richmond and West London in general, I think really, really appreciate that little theatre. Just amazing. Anyway, there we go. That's my final card. I wish I could have had time to make that on Saturday, really, but and I work on Sunday. So there we go. I did trim the tree. Literally trim with a pair of scissors, not trim as in decorate. Oh dear, puns. Love a pun. Let's just ink her skirt again. God, I hope I inked everything. I did, because I did it off camera. Oh yeah, I did ink her as well. Let's do her wings a little bit more. I think I'm going to leave those wings sticking out. Oh, they're already a bit curly. There we go. Now, not going to write anything on the back yet. They're just plain on the back. A bit gluey, in fact. There we go. Yeah, I think I'm going to leave the back as it is. Move those out of the way. So am I going to do some embellishments with my gold pen? I'm so tempted. Maybe I can go around this bit, look. Because it's very difficult to get the ink around there. Not sure about that. Maybe it doesn't show up very well on camera anyway, but I think it does need a little edge. Just to make it a little bit more taggy tag-like. There we go. Do you know, I was looking at these and I was thinking they'd make fantastic bunting as well if I had cut them slightly differently. So that gave me another idea. Oh no, that's gone wrong. Should do it on the table really, shouldn't I? I just haven't woken up properly yet. It's quite early on Monday morning. I think the problem is, can you see how thick this pen is? Oh, that one's totally gone wrong. Never mind, never mind. It's so easy sometimes to just muck things up at the last minute, isn't it? Especially if you get overly carried away. Right, round we go. Oh, I want to do some dots. I'm going to do some dots. There. Oh, I've so enjoyed doing this. Yes, I like the dots. Do you like the dots? Yeah, I think those are even better. Dots, no dots. I'm going to dot them all. There we go. So yeah, I think these would make great bunting. Similar sort of idea. I've still got loads of pink left, so I might just do that as well. What do you think? Let me know. Let me know in the comments if you want me to make pink bunting. So I've done my Christmas decorations now, and there's no real theme, to be honest. It's sort of red and green Christmas stuff that I've had for years. I really need to just step back from the Christmas decorations and think about getting some new stuff, to be honest, but not this year. Not this year, unfortunately. Other things to pay for, but and I'm working quite a bit over Christmas. Just got Christmas Day and Boxing Day off. In the UK we have Boxing Day. I don't know if you have Boxing Day in America, Canada and so on, but December 26th I've got that one off as well. And then back to work for me. So, yeah. So Christmas Day, I'm going to visit my mum. And then coming back, my partner and his sister are doing a meal as well. So I'll be heading over there. There's a lot of driving around involved really in my Christmas, but there you go. Right, I love those dots. I'm glad I did those. Super pretty. There we are. And I've put a little bit of this on Instagram. If you're an Instagrammer, head over and see if you can find these on there. That would be amazing. And say hello. Let me know what you think. Okay.